YouTube. I do appreciate y'all coming here today. We do have this call Monday to Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time, Saturday, Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In essence, my company, as you probably know, it's called NAAIP.org. We've developed some game-changing technology, which has no strings, no catches, no nothing. You might as well sign up. And people do. We have over 13,000 people in our system. I would certainly want anyone who has not signed up to sign up, create that website for you, which comes with multiple quote engines. In addition, you can imagine we do have revenue coming in.
Your message has reached the maximum. Re-record your message. Press 1. Discard your message. Press 2. Mark your message urgent.
Okay, that was Kelly from Arkansas making a little bit of noise. We've got a couple of guests here. Primarily, I send out these invitations to people that have signed up for the website the past couple of days. We get about 10 or 20 people signing up every day, so you can imagine people are coming in. In the meantime, what else we want to talk about? There are a few people on this call. Anyone have a question or wants to say hello? I believe Gary's on this call from Illinois. Hello, Mr. Parker.
I'm gonna say hello.
Hey, Gary.
Got it. Yeah. Been having a lot of good success with it. Just hired my first person, and trying to build my business pretty fast. Faster than I thought, anyway.
Right. You can definitely do it. Gary, I've been learning a lot about this business. Just like everyone else. And there's three avenues that people make money. One is the traditional life insurance, which is, I guess, the most popular company out there is called New York Life. I did have a conversation with someone a couple of days ago on our Thursday call who was a career agent for them. And their technique is you really have to learn the products, which I know a lot of people don't really do. But if you learn these products, you realize that's how you make a living. And you write down a list of your 200 favorite relatives. And you pitch those people, those 200 people, friends and relatives, all the people you know in your warm market. And that's how you build a nice business. There's a lot of people coming into our system specifically from the final expense avenue. The final expense avenue, is all over the internet. They're always recruiting people. And that really involves the traditional ways to buy postcards. A lot of these marketing companies really pressure you into emptying out your bank account. And I see the people coming into my system, and I do know that the vast majority don't really want to empty out their bank account. So there must be a better way, and we'll go into that later in the call. And you may have heard me talk about incentive-based marketing, where you give away stuff that really doesn't cost you money, but is ultra valuable to the people you're dealing with. And that can be done pretty effectively in the final expense market. There was a woman on the call, I believe yesterday. She was a career agent with a company called Lincoln Heritage or Lincoln National, which is one of the major, if not the major, final expense company out there. So I really should have got a little bit more into what she knows about the business, because whatever she knows is probably is the proper way to do stuff. But she did tell me what they do at the company she was working with, which I will go into in a little bit. The third thing that people do in this business is the Medicare health insurance. We've got all these. My company has all three of these avenues covered. So whatever I could do for you, I am here for you. I believe Juan is here from Florida. Hello, Juan. Can you hear me? And we got Mr. Fatu Khan. I guess I got to come up with an easier way to say your name. Ajibola.
Yeah.
What do people call you?
Ajibola is my name, first name, yeah.
That's what usually people. That's a little bit easier to say than your last name, Ajibola. Once you say it once or twice, it rolls off the tongue.
Pardon?
Once you say it once or twice, it rolls off your tongue.
Okay.
It's just the first time's a little bit hard, but afterwards it's okay.
After it, that's right. You get used to it.
Excellent. I should mention anyone on this call, any of the guests here, you could easily go to naaip.org. Right at the top, there is a click that says the word live stream. If you get into that, you could see me. I will also be doing screen sharing. So you're more than welcome to get over there as well. In the meantime, I'm looking at myself in fact, I'll do screen sharing. I did say the word in fact. I have to remember not to say the word in fact so many times. I've been watching these videos that I've been doing. I say it over and over, which is not a good deal. I was in the sales business before, and I have to tell you that it's to say the same thing over and over when you're doing sales pitches to different people is a good idea. That's probably why I keep on repeating what I'm saying over and over, because that was my training of saying the same thing over and over and over. And let me just get over here. Okay, I am sharing my screen right now on YouTube. So if anyone wants to see, you notice I'm in my live studio of Restream. This is a new service that I signed up for. And I only figured out very, very recently, like a couple of hours ago, that my videos were too soft. So finally I clicked the proper button, and the videos will be louder. The volume will be louder. So it just goes to show you, no matter how technical you think you are, you have to click every button in whatever website or technological or platform that you're using. And that's the same to go with all these insurance companies. The gentleman from Brooklyn, New York, Ajibola, you got contracted with the main company that we are pushing. It's definitely in your best interest, if you want to stay in this business, to click every button, learn that product line completely. I could tell you, this is
Which company is that?
That was the top 5 life insurance company, which I mentioned I cannot say on this YouTube presentation, but that was the contract sent over to you. You did fill out the contract. I should mention to you, this is a very similar product line to New York Life. And for the most part, people that sell New York Life only sell New York Life. They make a living. And these are some of the most successful insurance agents in the industry. The commission level that we're offering you is close to double what they're getting. So you should definitely take advantage of this opportunity, and hopefully things go well. But let me have a conversation with James. I did mention James was on this call as well. James, let me ask you, since my number one goal in the year 2021 is to become a celebrity on YouTube, I cannot repeat the same thing over and over and over, which I've done on these audio conference calls for a couple of years already. This system we have called naaip.org. It's a free website, free quote engine system. We have over 13,000 people that have signed up, but that doesn't work on YouTube, saying the same thing over and over. James, let me ask you, where do you live? What part of the country?
I'm in Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, that's where Gary is as well. Let me get Gary on this call. Gary, I did mute you because your phone was making noise, but I guess you solved that problem. Okay, I'm glad.
I've been in Chicago for a while, but I'm in Memphis, Tennessee right now.
Okay, your caller ID says outside of Chicago. Okay, James, so you're still in Chicago. Are you the last person still living there? There's still people living in Chicago?
No. There are lots of people here.
It's still pretty crowded, you're saying. They did pretty well in the 1930s. I guess that's the leftovers from the 1930s that moved there. So that's the situation. But in any case, how long have you been in the insurance business?
I got into the insurance in 2005. So
that's a long time. So you should know what you're doing. So who did you start out with?
I started out working with World Financial Group.
World Financial Group, I believe that's the outfit that is associated with Transamerican. They start people off at 30% commission. Am I accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, yeah, World Financial Transamerica is one of their primary carriers. Yes, that's correct.
So how do they get people at 30% commission?
Well, because they recruit a lot of new people who are looking for, an opportunity to break into the insurance business. So they don't really know much about the insurance industry and what the different rates are. Obviously, the people who are making the money are the people who are building fairly large teams.
I get you. Okay, but you have to, isn't that a little bit hard to do in the age of the internet to take people to the cleaners when it's, incredibly easy to figure out that you could get, through us, the main final expense company, we start everyone at 122%. You click around a little bit, you're gonna find out about my company. Maybe other companies are less, but they exist as well.
Yeah.
Isn't that a hard sell to get people at 30% when people could get double or triple elsewhere or quadruple?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, their business model is to go after, like I say, new people, introducing them to the opportunity of insurance and doing it in a face-to-face process. So mostly, it's the kind of you recruit, you kind of prospect their warm market until they get trained or licensed. Then you rinse and repeat, I guess. That was the business model and strategy.
So how many years were you with them?
I was with them for almost 10 years.
So we're from 2005 to 2015. Right now we're in 21, so we're 6 years fast forward. Did you make a living during that 10, 11 year period?
No, I was basically operating mostly part-time, but I also have another business where because I'm retired from corporate America as a computer technologist.
So you graduated college, is that right?
Yes.
So you're a smart guy. How long did it take you to figure out that the 30% is pretty low?
Well, it wasn't long. The problem was trying to figure out what the alternatives were and where I could find better opportunities.
I get you, Delta. I know New York Life does a ton of recruiting. I spoke to a gentleman from there on last Thursday. He said they start everyone off at 55%, which is, but they're very particular who they hire. It's only full-time people.
And also New York Life, you're captured agent, and that was something I'd never been interested in doing.
I get you.
I never wanted to be a captured agent. Yeah.
Okay, were there any years where you made decent money on World Financial Group?
I would say probably for about the last 2 years, I was making some pretty decent money. But like I said, it was my interest was not, at least at that time, building a team. I like kind of making money off of my own pen. So, and again, being semi-retired, that was not necessarily something that interested me.
I get you. And when you say you were making decent money towards the end, were you more or less full-time the last 2 years?
No, I've never been full-time in the insurance business.
I get you. You still had to pay E&O. Did they at least pay the errors and admissions for you, which generally runs between?
No. I had paid. You paid that yourself.
Did they have any other fees besides the $35 a month for E&O?
No, that was the only fee that they charged. I mean, obviously they did a lot of conferences and training sessions, and a lot of those sessions you had to pay to participate in.
You had to pay to participate in?
Yeah.
Wow.
Somebody's got to cover the cost of those facilities.
I get you. So these were in downtown conference rooms?
Yeah, well, not necessarily downtown, but in suburban hotels.
Suburban hotels. That's where insurance companies have been doing this for a while. Suburban empty hotels. I get you.
Yes.
And did you end up moving up above 30% during that 10-year period?
No, I was at 35% when I left. Yeah.
I get. So it's hard to make a living when you're at 35%, when you could get, let's say, 100 or 122% through a company like ours. It's, that's crazy.
Well, I'll be quite frank. I didn't really start truly learning about the insurance business until after I left.
And who did you go with after you left, after in 2015, which is 6 years ago?
Wealth Beyond Wall Street.
Is that a traditional IMO that says, hey, we represent 100 companies, or they had a group?
No, their focus was IUL.
Oh, Index Universal Life. And what company were they pushing?
Minnesota Life was one of their primary companies.
And
Allianz was another one.
And
those are
IULs. And did you succeed in that a little bit better, because they probably paid? I should ask you, what was the percentage commission?
Yeah, that was a 90% commission.
Which is reasonable. At least it's reasonable.
Yeah, but it's a tough market I frankly, I was doing it remotely, so it was not in-person sales. And unfortunately, it typically took a fairly long sales cycle.
Did Minnesota Life or Allianz or any of those companies, did they have a good training program where they really got you to know the product?
Yeah, they had a good training program on their products, yeah. And also, Wealth Beyond Wall Street had a pretty good training program on sales and marketing.
And did they provide anything else besides, hey, here's the contract, or any lead systems or anything like that?
Well, they had a lead system, but you have to pay for it yourself.
How much were they charging for those leads?
I was paying, I think, truthfully, about $150 per lead.
Wow, that's a lot of cash, James. It's like you're going.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's like It's like you're going through one bad system to another bad system at that $150. Did they discuss anything? Were they giving you any advice or any discussions about ways to generate leads besides giving them $150?
No, and that was I think one of the downsides. And frankly, like I said, it wasn't until I really started doing my own research and learning about alternative ways of producing leads that led me to basically decide to separate from them as well.
I get you. How many leads did you buy on, let's say, a monthly basis from them?
I was buying 10 to 15 leads a month.
Hi, Cherie's on it. Cherie, hi, Cherie. Finally, someone showing their face. Wow, I was getting so lonely here until Cherie shows up. Anytime a woman shows up, James, it was nice knowing you. James.
Okay.
But I'll come back. I want to hear the rest of that story. Cherie from Arizona, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very nice. Cherie is happy as can be. I was a little bit sad until Cherie showed up. But in the meantime, we did have James on this call. He was telling us his sad story, how he started off at World Financial Group at 30% commission. 10 years fast forward, as he was doing this part-time. He started in 2005, fast forward 10 years. He realized that, hey, 30% commission is not the way to go. They did move him up to 35%. He switched over to a company that had paid reasonable commissions, not the greatest, but reasonable. But that particular company really, we were just getting at, they were charging him $150 per lead. And that was probably a primary income of that marketing company. So we're going to get back to James and find out what happened next. We're up to 2015. Hi, James.
Hi.
Okay, James, so we're up to 2015, 16. Did you make at least a couple of sales after purchasing those leads?
Yeah, I made a couple of sales. Like I said, the problem was that doing that remotely was a fairly long lead cycle or sales cycle. So the return on that investment, was not what I really wanted.
Okay, okay, when you first started, that's probably when you were most excited about the program. When you first started, you got out of that 30% commission, which went to 35, and you jacked up to 90, which is substantially better. You probably got very excited the first year. How many sales did you make that first year with that new marketing company?
Out of the, I was with them a year. I stayed with them a year as far as purchasing leads. And out of the leads that I purchased, I think I was only able to convert two.
Two. And how many leads did you purchase?
Like I said, I was purchasing on average about 10 leads a month.
Okay, Gary, you're in Tennessee. You guys are pretty good at mathematics. Gary, you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, get out your calculator. Tell me what that is. 10 leads a month at $150. I could figure that out. That's $1,500. If you stick with them a year, that we're talking over $10,000. Is that pretty accurate, James?
That's correct. It's more like 1,800.
Right. I don't want to make them feel that bad. Yeah, I want to be fairly reasonable. Okay, so you spent close, let's say $15,000, because it was a long time ago. People's memories tend to get worse as they get older. So you spent between $10,000 and $20,000 on leads. You made 2 sales. That is bad. Wow. And you were paying for E&O insurance as well that whole time?
Yes.
So that's another $400 a month, a year or so. That's a bad situation. So did you find something? Did you find something better after that, at least?
Well, that was when I decided to start focusing on final expense as opposed to IULs.
So I get you. So who did you start with on final expense in 2016 or 17, which is a couple?
Well, really, I kind of took somewhat of a hiatus from 2007, 18, yeah. As I started with working on Wall Street in 2017, 2018.
Okay, James, let me ask you a question. They were selling you 110 leads a month, $1,500 a month. How were they generating the leads?
They were generating the leads off the radio ads. And the process is that they would run radio ads in different markets. I think at that time I was licensed in 8 different states. They would run radio ads, and people would call in off the radio. And then what they would do is they would send them a book about the investment options, and then they would send me the lead. And then I'd have to do a follow-up with the person who received it, make sure they got their book, and then go through start them through a sales process.
I get you. So those, in their explanation was the radio ads are pretty expensive. The book is pretty expensive. Someone has to pay for it, which is you.
Yeah.
Have you ever? Okay, you did that for a year. Do you have family members that were telling you this is crazy, this is nuts to spend $15,000 a year to make 2 sales? What was the?
No. Obviously, I was not anticipating that's all I was going to basically turn over from the process.
I get you. Okay, what else we want to talk about? So that was. And how much were those 2 sales for?
I think I did net up about maybe 10,000.
Oh, from those 2 sales. So you paid 15,000 for leads, and you got back 10.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Yeah.
And did you get paid directly from the insurance company or by the marketing company?
From the insurance company.
At least that was good. And you're still getting residuals on those 2 sales?
Yeah.
Hey, that's not the end of the world. At least something good happened. Okay, you did that for a year. What happened the next year, 2016 or 17?
So it was in 2017 and 18. Like I said, in 19, I kind of took a step back and reassess what I wanted to do, and I decided I was going to try to focus on final expense failed, and as a result of that, basically signed up with a company called Senior Life.
Senior Life, I've seen them on Facebook. Let me mute someone who's making noise. Someone's making background noise. James, is that you making background noise?
I don't know.
No, it's not you. I put Gary and Cherie's on mute. Everyone's on mute besides you and myself. So Senior Life, and I have seen their ads. I've seen some Facebook ads that they're running that they start you off at 60, 70, 80%, then they could jack you up to 150%. They came up with some really big number to get people excited. In your case, were you still doing this part-time?
Yeah.
I get you. What percentage Senior Life, as far as I know, you only sell their product and they have some sort of lead system based on television ads or whatever?
Well, they do television ads. They also do mailers.
They're mixing it up,
their primary lead system is based upon postcard mailers,
which is a very common way to do final expense. And you're in Greater Chicago?
Yes.
So there's no shortage of unsophisticated, lower income, older people that need to buy this type of insurance.
That's correct.
Which are within a 10, 20, 30-minute drive from your house.
Yeah.
I get. And how much were they charging for those postcard leads?
Basically, they're charging $28 a lead.
And this was just a couple of years ago. I get you. And what commission level did they have you at?
That was at a 90% commission level. So they start you out at 90%.
Or they started you at? Did they start other people at a lower commission since you told them?
No, that was the base. That was the base commission was 90%.
Did they pay a set? Did they get a residual monies as well?
Yeah, you get residuals.
What was their second year?
I think it's 3%.
Not a lot. I get you. And are you still were you getting paid directly by the insurance company?
We're getting paid directly by Senior Life. Senior Life has their own insurance.
Right, they are an insurance company, which makes it very convenient. And from what I recall, they have a 2 or 3 different policies.
Basically, they have I think it's 5 different policies.
They have a lot of policies, but it's only you have to be somewhat captive with them, or they allow you to license with others.
No. You're not a captured agent with them. No.
I get, but in order to get the leads, I did have a conversation with one of the managers in the company, and he was pretty adamant that if he's going to be selling you their leads, they want you to be concentrating on working their product exclusively.
Exactly, that's true. Yeah.
So the pricing of their product, was it somewhat competitive?
I guess when you shop around, in some cases they were competitive, in some cases they weren't. Okay, but by the same token, they tend to insure almost anybody. They've got something that they can insure almost anybody.
It means they're a little bit expensive. I get you.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you try any other lead sources besides the leads they were selling you?
No. I had not at that point.
Did you ever think of maybe, come up with a better idea?
Oh, guess what? That's why I'm here.
I get you. Okay, okay. We do have a plan for people in your situation. I'm learning about this business as much as anyone else. You have, for what I've discovered in this business, is that, as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, there's a couple of venues that people are going in. They're going through traditional retirement planning, which you worked for a couple of years through that company selling you those $150 leads. You've got the final expense as well, which is Senior Life. I should ask you, James, how many sales did you make during this period at Senior Life?
Well, with Senior Life, I've only been with them about a year though. And again, on a part-time basis. So I'm probably running about a 10% return on investment.
So you'll close 10% of the postcards that you buy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I have spoken to various people. They say you really should be closing 25%.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
A gentleman who sounded really good on the phone, he tells me he was closing 50, 60, 70%. This may have been a superstar. And at 10%, was that enough to justify being in the business at a 10% close ratio?
No.
How many leads were you purchasing a month?
Roughly about 20 leads a month.
So that's 20 times 20. That comes out to $400.
20 times 28.
28. So you were spending $500 a month on leads.
Yeah.
But this worked out a little better than the IUL leads or the IUL business. Yeah. So at least you were above what you're above water.
Above break even.
Above break even.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the plan. Let me just go into the plan. But at least you were in these systems. I have to tell you, there was a woman on yesterday's call that mentioned she was working for a Lincoln National or Lincoln something, Lincoln Memorial. What's that name of that major final expense company? James, I
think it's Lincoln National.
Lincoln National. Okay, I had a similar type conversation with her. I realized I have to get you guys more involved in this conversation because if I say the same thing over and over, it gets a little bit boring. She was telling me that Lincoln National was encouraging their agents to become to really know the local funeral homes, to be an expert of what these people are going through. If we click over to naaip.org at the top, there's a couple of clicks there. You got leads, domains, quotas, e-contracting, portal. But if I click over to leads, this is a Wikipedia of lead generation. It's a very good idea for you to become an expert at this. Keep your destiny in your own hands. And I can tell you, final expense agents they're either doing door knocking. You've got a lot of good information about door knocking. They're doing postcard leads. 4 companies are listed here, which includes one called Fixed Price Lead and Walmart mailers for need a lead. They're charging $20 for that. So the $20 a lead that Senior Life was charging you was nothing special. You could get that from Need a Lead. A couple of other there's 3 other lead companies listed here. You got Lead Concept, gentlemen, we get you discounts through Peter Hingham. Another one, Marva at Target Leads, and Olga at Kramer Direct. And they're all charging about the same. But if you're going to be in a business on a long-term basis, it's probably not a bad idea to keep in the back of your mind that you may be able to do this better yourself. You've got a couple of bullet points here about do-it-yourself mailers. First bullet point would be to consult with pros as to the content of postcard. The good thing about these lead companies is they have a definite knowledge of what the response rate percentages are. But after that's done, that's consult with these people. They'll tell you what's good. You Google the word wholesale printing. Number 3, realize that your image picture on the mailer's advertising helps. You could take that advice to the bank. There was someone I spoke to quite a few months ago. He told me he put his wife's picture on the postcard and his response rate percentages went through the roof. I believe a woman may be more appealing than a man. And you would probably want to match the picture on the postcard to the demographic that you're sending that postcard to. Text messaging, SMS is huge. I suppose if you're sending stuff out to lower income, unsophisticated type people, you probably should put the word text messaging / SMS because they may not understand what the word SMS is. Welcome to 2021. What else we need to talk about? Let me just go through this a little bit more. You go to the post office, open a return reply account, you get a lower price, a higher return rate, especially since your local return address causes faster delivery back. If these lead companies that I've mentioned above here could do that for you, especially putting your address on the postcard and putting your cell phone on there, God bless them, go with them. But realize there may be a better way. What else we need to talk about, James? My favorite, when you are in the postcard, when you are in the final expense business specifically, you are dealing with older, lower income people who, you have to picture what they're going through in any sales situation you're in. You can imagine, I've seen these videos on YouTube. These postcards come in and don't pick up the phone, knock on their door. And there is a couple of bullet points about door knocking here. If you're going to be knocking on one person's door, you might as well knock on in the whole neighborhood. The wording here is carrier route data is huge for door knockers. Be like a UPS driver. Say that you are following up on a mailer that was sent already. Valasys.com will give you that data. Use a sticky note about a missed delivery. Office Depot can make a pad of Post-it notes for you, or you could click here where you could buy it. If you click here, it goes to a company called Shop the Alliance. That's another outfit that starts people at 30% commission or 40, pretty low. Realize that they're selling this very low price Post-it notes to people that are dealing with them, but you could order it anyways. While you're at the depot, get a laminated badge with your license number from Circon and a passport photo on the flip side. Another good idea is door hangers. James, you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so definitely realize what these people are going through. These are older, less wealthy people, poorer people that are sitting home all day. They're all looking for an expert. For whatever reason, the company that you were working for, whatever they were doing, apparently you did not come across as an expert, and that's why your close ratio was 10%, as opposed to 30%, 40%, 50%, which is possible, I should say. The trick is somehow, some way to come across as an expert. It could be that person I spoke to that had very successful postcards, when they put their picture on the website, when they put their picture on the postcards, the response rates went through the roof. I suppose if on the postcard you specifically say my SMS, my email is my SMS, and your www, I sell final expense insurance.com or something to that effect, it would probably make you come across as a little bit more of an expert. You may have heard me speak about something called incentive-based marketing, where you give people something that causes them to really like you. Lincoln National or Lincoln Heritage, the woman that I spoke to a couple of days ago, she specifically said that her bosses encouraged her to know what the people are going through at the funeral home. If you are selling funeral home insurance, it makes sense to visit those local funeral homes and to know exactly what they're being charged. Did you ever do that, James?
Yes, I have.
So you know the market, which is definitely good.
Yes, I know, yeah.
Did you ever Google the word, and you know about the FTC regulation where they're allowed to bring in tombstones and flowers and caskets from outside sources? I do know that the company that you were hooked up with, they supposedly have some sort of gimmick where they get people a concierge service.
Right.
You should
called Legacy. Yeah.
Okay, you could set up that yourself. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to Google the word online caskets or online flowers or online tombstones.
Right.
You don't have to be, you Google that. In fact, I'm on screen share. I Google the word online. Let me see what pops up. Online caskets. You got a bunch of ads here. You got fast caskets, trusted caskets. They all say the word 24-hour delivery. So it could be that the senior, whatever it's called, they're charging people for this additional benefit of providing a concierge service. I would imagine it's probably something you should do for free because your job. One of the negatives is when you were selling for this company, when someone passes on, they call the insurance company. They could be calling you. In this way, you have a very good long-term business, and you would develop. I guess the trick is to develop a reputation in the community of providing a needed service. And if you could pull that one off, you've got a good business as opposed to helping someone else pull that off. James, does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
It's like, why are you building up these people when you're only there for a year or two when you could, set up your own empire? And who knows if the deal that they have for caskets or tombstones is actually a good deal. We give you that website, quote engines, and all that other good stuff, which is completely editable. If I was selling this final expense market, I would put all my knowledge on that website. So you could easily tell the world that you're an expert, that you're offering this type of concierge service, and you help people. Did they ever mention anything about online? Creating a last will and testament for people? James, let me get you off mute. Did they ever mention anything like that?
No, that was not something that was part of their
repertoire.
Training, yeah.
Okay, but it's pretty simple. Whatever these people are going through, you should be trying to solve that problem or solve that issue. And I can't tell you, if you're a lower income, hopefully this won't be your situation ever, a lower income, unsophisticated older person, you can imagine that they're not really that excited to fork over $1,000 to an attorney. As you scroll down on naeip.org, towards the bottom, there's a bunch of sales tools. One of the sales tools links up to Last Will and Testament, Free Will, Be a Digital Agent. That takes you to doyourownwill.com. I've got insurance agents who become notary publics, which means they could witness the signature. They also carry portable printers in the trunk of their car. You can imagine if you stay in this business for 10 years straight and you're doing this technique and you've got 500, 750, 1,000 wills sitting in your file cabinet, copies of, you would become a staple of the community. People would probably like you a lot in whatever geographical area that you're working on. That just makes logical sense. I like this idea so much. I told my computer programmer to put something like this on our 13,000 plus websites that we manage that are through us. We don't have it online yet, but expect it to be online in the next 3 months. We've built it already. We just have to upload it and make it live. That's a scoop on that. Let me see what else I could think of on this website stuff. On the page about leads, I did click the word leads. Let me see where it says. Oh, right here on leads. Okay, the ideas that I mentioned about incentive-based marketing are here, where it mentions incentive-based marketing. Right here, it mentions this issue about, okay, here, Concierge service for FEX clients. Help your clients get best prices on caskets, tombstones, etc. Great, be an expert. If you ever get back into the index universal life business or the retirement planning business, you could set up a free website. Quote engines don't matter to those people, but website, help them move up the search engine on our portal. Once you realize how easy it is, you could definitely go to set this up for business owners. I suppose anyone who's a plumber, an electrician, these people make money on a regular basis for every client they get. And you should consider that as well. In essence, whatever you could think of to get people to provide a service to these people and help them out and become a name brand in the local community seems like a good idea. What else we have to think about? And okay, James, let me get back in this conversation, but your phone is making a lot of noise. Are you able to get off speakerphone? James, okay, your phone is making a lot of background noise. So these are just some of the things that I've come up with. And James, are you able to get off speakerphone so it makes less background noise?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Okay, well, we'll bear with that. I know that referrals are a big part of the business. If you're in the same business for a long time, you've got this referral form on this page. You may want to check out that. If you ever go, the traditional way that I mentioned the word New York Life on this quite often. New York Life, what they do is they have its new agents make a list of at least 200, not 2,000, 200 friends and family that the agents will prospect. That's the traditional way that people sell these retirement planning vehicles. Apparently, the company that you were pushing, Index Universal Life, did not want you to use that technique, which is tried and tested, which seems a little bit weird. Does that make sense, James?
You said New York Life is doing what now?
They don't buy leads. They do not buy leads. They new agents coming in, they have them learn the product line from A to Z. Afterwards, they have you write down a list of your closest 200 people in your life. And that seems to be, New York Life is a somewhat successful company. They don't start you, they start people off at 55% commission, according to the gentleman that was on this call a couple of days ago. But we might as well use the technique that works. At least it's been working for the last 100 years for them. The insurance company that we are pushing is in the top couple of Index Universal Life providers. They also have the whole life. If you're selling a retirement planning vehicle, you might as well sell a mutual insurance company. The company that you were pushing called Allianz, they're based in Germany. That's where their headquarters are. That's a pretty hard sell. Pushing a company out of Germany. And the other company you were pushing, which called Minnesota Life, they're a privately held company. So New York Life was a mutual. It still is. It's a mutual company, which is really a lot easier to sell for retirement planning. What else we need to talk about? But check out these referral techniques. More good ideas. Play tic-tac-toe with your clients at appointments. An X in which the client receives $25 or $50 is given to the client for every referral. Alternatively, the agent can get $100 for every victory. That's playing tic-tac-toe. You decide. One more good idea, throw a pizza party at your appointment's house. They will invite their friends and relatives. Everyone loves a party. I know I'm going between Index Universal Life and Final Expense, but you realize, throwing a pizza party at your appointment's house probably has to do more with lower income people. But I guess the name of the game is to have these people like you and and appreciate you and remember you. So if you, there was a gentleman on this call quite a few months ago. He mentioned he played tic-tac-toe with his clients, and he was known as the tic-tac-toe guy, and he became very busy in the final expense market. And did the marketing company, did the senior life company that you dealt with, did they mention any of this stuff that I'm mentioning right now?
No, that was not part of the training program. I
get you. I believe what they were doing, which was very good for them and not for you, since we all in this business, there's a tremendous amount of people coming in and out. The word is turnover. Is they were pushing that legacy safeguard program where the phone number goes to them when the people die, when the people pass on and want those discounts on their caskets or funeral homes. Is that pretty accurate, James?
No. The legacy, as it really turns out, the concierge program that they were pushing as part of their package is really, and again, they don't tell you this up front. It's really an independent offering, and as you said, you really don't have to be part of senior life. Make it available. I actually called them up and I said I want to bring my 13,000 plus agents into their legacy safeguard system, and the phone went straight to that insurance company. I was not able to make that happen. So what they're telling you may or may not be true. You have to check it out. Yeah.
I have to be very careful what I'm saying on this recorded YouTube presentation, so I did say the word may or may not be. Everyone and his sister would like to get my company out of this business. What we're doing is we're offering much better deals out there. On the final expense products that we are offering, we start you off at 122% commission. If you look at that commission level, which is online in the password protected back office, there is a click there with the name of the insurance company. I listed online, but I won't mention on this YouTube presentation. They may change their mind, and then I would have to delete all these videos. But every email we send out, I mention that company, and I put the commission level online. It's 122% first year, 15 or 16% second year. It goes down to 9% third year and afterwards, or something to that effect. So these are definitely top level commissions. If you are in one of these organizations that encourage you to recruit, and that's something you feel you could do, this the final expense company we're pushing definitely makes it easy. You click in the back office. There's a button there that says send invitation to friend. You determine the commission level you want your friend to be on. I don't have to be involved at all. So hopefully you'll appreciate the good stuff that is available. Okay, James, what else we want to talk about? So you right now you are still with that senior life company?
Yes, I am. Right.
It's completely dependent on you continuing to purchase leads from them. And right now we're in beginning of May. How many leads did you purchase last month?
I didn't purchase any. I haven't purchased any leads in the last couple of months.
I get you. So have you made any sales on your own?
No, because again, I'm investigating what you're offering with setting up my own lead system, as opposed to relying on their lead system.
I get you, but you could definitely use the same system that they're using. We just get you these higher commission products. In addition, the major life insurance company, which is a top 5 mutual carrier, and you will notice that it's easier to sell a mutual carrier as opposed to a for-profit company, especially for retirement planning. So I'm not sure if I sent you out the contracting for both those companies, but that's all you need between this major final expense and this major top 5 company. If you want to use on the retirement planning vehicles to get very proficient in setting up these websites, this is definitely an incentive-based marketing tool. It's a needed something that is definitely needed by business owners. And I'm pretty sure that 15% of everyone walking around in America owns their own business. Is that a pretty accurate number?
I'm not sure, but
it's somewhere. We're not that far. In fact, I could use Google and I could find out, instead of just making up a number out of thin air.
Well, since you brought that up, and I know you've mentioned it several times. I mean, I know that it looks like the websites that you're creating are strictly targeted for insurance. So,
right. You would very quickly, remember, you're a tech guy. You're supposed to be intelligent.
Yeah.
You get rid of the quote engines. You change the content, and you make this for any business, especially you have the video at the top. Imagine if you go to a plumber, an electrician with your handy high-powered camera, and you take a video of them in front of their van holding their tools, and you throw that at the top of the video. These people will probably like you a lot.
Okay.
That's really what it comes down to. That's why we're pushing this website stuff so much.
Okay, I understand that. Okay, so now that you've clarified that, so now if you're trying to use this as a giveaway incentive, what about the fact that you put the ads on there?
Okay, the ads pop up after 50 hits. I do say over and over and over, it's a free website. It's free and always will be. After 50 hits, to get rid of those ads, it's $14.99, or if you sell through us. If you ever sell through us in the future,
if you're trying to offer this to a business that's not insurance, what do you? Basically, it's really not free.
Right, that is correct. That is correct. Keep in mind that these business owners will pay more than $14.99 a month if you want to collect from them money, but it's probably easier for you to sell the products that we're pushing on a regular basis, and you'll be easily earning, making more than a couple of sales a month. If something is coming into my company, blanket, there'll be no ads on any of your people's websites.
That's the key right there. That those websites are attached to me, and how do I? When I set it up, is that how they get attached?
Right. Right now, we have yet to do the white label system where it won't say NAIP at all, but that's something that we will have in another 3 or 4 months. But in the meantime, when someone fills out a form, you get an email. When a visitor fills out a form, you get an email from me. The client gets an email. The client gets an email. The client gets an email from the website owner, and it goes into the password protected back office under contacted you list. The email that I send out to the website owner will have a footer at the bottom that will mention insurance, which is not the end of the world for someone who's a plumber and electrician. He'll just ignore it. We will solve that as we make this a white label system where you'll be able to edit the email that comes from me. It'll actually be coming from you. How should I say it? You'll have access to your client's website, his username and password. If you click around, you notice I do say the word, if you make a sale through us, or you pay the $14.99. When I say you make a sale, you input the sale yourself. So if you put the word hello, I love the New York Mets, every month, these sales disappear. I mean, these advertisements disappear. You could put anything in there. And if you have access to your client's website, you'll put it in for them. James, you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So you're in complete control. You could get rid of these ads for your clients, your business owner clients.
So you're saying this is not available right now?
It is available right now because remember, let me just go into the password protected back office so you see what I'm talking about. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see my screen.
Oh, I'm on YouTube.
Okay, go to YouTube. Okay, I'm going to log in so I could, talk about it as I'm looking at it. I'm going to log into a generic website. Let me just do Jack. Let me do Jack. Let me see if the password is saved. On Jack, at the very top, it says ads enables. Click here to disable. If you've, in essence, you would input the sale. That's all you do is input. You describe the sale. As soon as I put anything on this website, the advertisements disappear. On this page, I should say, I put the word hello. Boom. Ads are disabled. Again, James, if you're making sales on a regular basis, you could offer this website to dozens and dozens of people, and there's nothing to worry about. And you would be in complete control as long as you have the username and password for these people. Or if you don't have the username and password, you could always tell me, hey, this is my client. Please get rid of the ads. I am making sales through NAIP on a regular basis. And that's all you need. James, it's making a little bit more sense now.
Yeah.
Remember, these websites don't cost my company any extra money. If you could, something is better than nothing. If you could wake up in the morning and sell these products at a 122%, if you could get back into that retirement planning business and get these higher commission levels from a mutual insurance company, and use the New York Life system where you're not emptying out your bank account on lead generation, and you're approaching specifically website business owners, and these business owners specifically would love to have a video at the top of their site. And that's something that you could provide them. High quality website, multiple templates. It takes you 10, 20, 30 minutes to set up. We've done a really banged up job on all the quality issues. I can say that you can't get anything better. Okay, we do have Mr. Ajibola here from Brooklyn, New York. Hello, Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, hello. David.
Okay, Ajibola, I did have a long conversation with James. He's telling me he's in the final expense business currently right now. He was buying 10, 20 leads a month, and he stopped for the last couple of months. Ajibola, what product are you selling now?
I'm still very new in the business. Currently, my life sales was a life insurance, Living Promise by Mutual of Omaha. And I've just been in insurance from February. I gained my license in February, and I started business immediately. I get you.
And you did hear the story of James that's been in this business for over 20 years. You could imagine, it's probably best to do the traditional successful marketing right from the get-go and not make the mistakes that a lot of agents make.
I've been having that conception, though I'm currently with Symmetry Financial Group, but they deal with sales of leads.
Right. These are
leads are not that affordable.
Right.
And what I'm looking at that will happen is probably the experience that is shared now. That is very possible for me to keep on buying the leads and then not be able to convert, or possibly the return on investment may not be good enough.
Okay.
So, and that's probably why I look at the possibility of having online presence and see what I can do on my own in generating my lead.
Right, Ajibola. I hate to mention it. You do have I don't want to say I mention it. It's part of life. You do come from a different country where you have an accent. So you do have to be smarter than everyone else to make it in this business. The business of financial selling is specifically geared to have your client feel that you're some sort of expert. That's really your close. That's really your close. My name is XYZ, licensed insurance agent in the state of XYZ. I am an expert. Sign here. If you come from a place and you have an accent which does not have the greatest reputation in the world as being experts in financial, guru, being a financial guru, it makes it a lot harder. So you have to come up with some sort of game plan to overcome that that perception of being at a disadvantage. It is possible, but doing following a bad game plan will not let you overcome that. There are people. The insurance company that you recently got contracted with, when you do get access to their password protected back office, you will notice that there's a lot of brochures in different languages.
That's right.
Yeah, you'll notice that when you have access. I know you just recently filled out the contract. They're primarily Asian languages: Vietnamese, Cambodian, Korean, and all these type of languages which I don't understand. But apparently, the insurance company has a lot of success with those language groups succeeding in selling this type of product line, which is a retirement planning type of financial vehicle, similar to what James was talking about on the Index Universal Life, which is really for middle to upper income people, primarily business owners. So what they've noticed is insurance agents that speak an Asian language, and a lot of the Asian people in the United States own businesses. They work from morning till night. That's all they do. They come here, they work from morning till night, and they've got all this extra money, and they need a safe, secure, and profitable place to put that money. So the mutual insurance companies, which on their whole life policies are paying between 5% and 6%, are a good way for these people to put money away for a retirement planning vehicle. I suppose that means, Ajibola, that if you speak a language and there's a large group of business owners and middle to upper income people that also speak your language, these are prime people to approach with this product.
I quite agree with you.
And from your country, people come here to work. They have family.
We have a network of our own.
Right.
That's
So
my plan. I want to have my own niche. I want to carve out my own niche so that I can really reach out to people from my background, and it's easy to market those people than talking with people from another background.
Right. It's just because they have to approach you and they have to believe that you're an expert. And you show them the illustration, which is paying between 5 and 6% on the whole life policy, and that can only be available on a mutual insurance company. It's not available on, these corporations that are based in Germany and these other different countries, as James mentioned to us that he was pushing. But we have to use the New York Life system, which means when you do get contracted, you learn the product line from A to Z. You become an expert at this. It's not very hard to do, how to illustrate, how to pivot from one product to another. Then when you feel comfortable, then you write out a list of your 200 closest people that you know personally. You go to our lead page, especially you go to the information about referrals, because if you're providing a good product, you want to tell people about it. It could, I'm not sure if it's going to involve playing tic-tac-toe but between the referral part of this page and the incentive-based marketing, which is specifically to business, about setting up a website and search engine optimization for business owners, these folks need Index Universal Life and retirement planning.
Yeah.
So if you become known in a local community, and you know that these local different language groups in New York City have their own newspapers, and they connect with each other, whether it be the different churches or newspapers or wherever they go. So the trick is, you may not have 200 people but from the people from your country, I'm sure there's well over 200 people that are part of that language group or that country group.
That's right. That's right. Are you contracting with New York Life? Because I've been approached by New York Life to come aboard. Okay,
Ajibola, the reason I mentioned New York Life, and I'm not mentioning the company that you recently contracted with, the one provision I had is I could not mention the company that we're working with online on an email blast, or right now we're on YouTube, so I cannot mention their name, but the product line is very darn similar to New York Life. The big difference, what we're doing is we're offering you substantially higher commissions than what New York Life offers. And you could say we have a better product line, but it's a similar type situation.
Oh, I see.
So I'm replacing New York Life with I'm replacing the word New York Life with our company that we're pushing. That's all we're doing. Because these companies have different marketing venues, and for the most part, as James has mentioned earlier, he worked for World Financial Group. They started people at 30%, then they move up to 35%. And since you start at 90 and we move you up to 100, you can imagine that would upset the apple cart for all the other places that are offering much less.
Yeah,
that's really why I'm not mentioning the name of the insurance company. I'm mentioning New York Life over and over.
Yeah. All right. Contracted with NLG. What are your other plans of getting me contracted with some more?
Okay, we do. The major final expense company that we're dealing with is not available in New York City, in New York State. There is we do have another final expense for New York. I'm not sure if I email that to you.
What about Texas, Maryland, where I'm also licensed?
I could send you that major final expense company, but it's just I would imagine the majority of sales that you'll be making will be in New York, because that's how you make money. It's really the retirement planning is how people make money. And I'll send you another.
How do you gauge New York market compared to other states?
It's really going to be based on your warm market. You did hear the conversation with James. He was buying these leads for $150 to sell Index Universal Life, and he made 2 sales over 10 years. That's not something that you should be.
2 sales?
Right.
I didn't hear that well.
Okay, but the technique that New York Life is doing is not a bad technique, which is making a list of all the people and pitching those people and presenting illustrations to those people.
I see.
You could always purchase leads. They're not going anywhere. You could always develop your own radio advertising or internet advertising or Facebook advertising. All the various lead generation techniques are on this page, nape.org/lead-services.
Okay, I'll make use of that. I look forward to building my website and getting that sorted. Hopefully next week I will join your call and I will be on my laptop and get to GoDaddy and every other thing sorted so that I can have a good online presence.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, let me see how this is working. I just signed up for this stuff. Let me see where it says captions, if I could change the caption.
Okay. Okay. All right, Dave, I'm going to drop off now and get a good session, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, James, I don't want to mean to come off as mean, but it's a hard life. You did well from this technological career.
I know it's a hard life, but I did just get here yesterday.
I get you. Hopefully things go good, and we'll provide a needed service to people that need this service. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this will turn out to be very, very rewarding. So
I'll see you then. I'm gonna get off this call as well. In fact, I'm on YouTube. Let me get off. Let me say the goodbye to the people on YouTube. And my job, believe it or not, has changed recently. I have no choice. I have to get good at YouTube. If I don't get good at YouTube, my programmers and web designers are going to be mightily upset. Let me speak directly to the people on YouTube. I do thank you for all being here today. I would like you to subscribe, tell others about the show, make a comment. My company is providing a game-changing good deal to anyone who sells insurance. You might as well take advantage of it. And one of the ways you can help others is by subscribing, make a comment and like and all that other good stuff. I do thank you for being here. I will be here Monday to Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time, Saturday, Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I am saying goodbye to YouTube. Bye-bye.